The story of Natascha Kampusch. On the morning of March 2, 1998, 10-year-old Natascha Kampusch left her mother's house in Vienna to go to school. The walk took only a few minutes. She was walking along Rennbahnweg Street when a white van stopped next to her. Inside was Wolfgang Priklopil, a 35-year-old electrical technician who lived alone and had been planning to abduct a young girl for some time. He approached her, asked for directions, and when she came closer, he violently pulled her into the vehicle. No one noticed the incident in time to intervene. Priklopil took her to his house in Strasshof an der Nordbahn, about 25 kilometers from Vienna. The house looked ordinary from the outside, but underneath it was a secret room. A small, soundproof bunker of about 5 square meters, without windows or natural light. The entrance to the bunker was through the garage, hidden doors, and a heavy hatch. Inside was a narrow bed, a sink, and a toilet, nothing more. He locked Natascha inside and forbade her from making any noise. Within the first hours, he threatened her that if she tried to escape, he would kill her and her family. For the first months, she was not allowed to leave the bunker even for a second. She was completely isolated from the world, natural light, and other people. Priklopil controlled every aspect of her life, deciding when and what she would eat, when she could sleep, and when she could speak. Food portions were small, and sometimes he starved her. When she disobeyed, he beat or slapped her, or left her in total darkness. Over time, he told her the outside world was dangerous and would destroy her, and that only he could protect her. After 6 months, he occasionally allowed her out of the bunker, first to the basement, then to the house. All windows were covered, and the gate and doors were always locked. Sometimes he gave her a hood or mask so she would not know where she was. His goal was to maintain her sense of helplessness. Over the years, a complicated relationship developed between them. Not love, but for Natascha, it was a survival strategy. She behaved in ways to minimize his anger, which the public later mistakenly called Stockholm Syndrome. 8.5 years passed this way. On August 23, 2006, she got her first real chance to escape. Priklopil was working on the roof of the house and asked her to vacuum his car in the garage. He accidentally left the gate to the yard unlocked. He went away for a moment to make a phone call, and his voice faded. Natascha realized no one was watching her. She put down the vacuum cleaner, walked through the gate, and ran down the street. The first person she met was an older woman in a garden. Natascha said to her, "My name is Natascha Kampusch, and I was kidnapped." The woman took her inside and called the police. When Priklopil found out she had escaped, he fled by car and wandered for several hours. Shortly afterward, he committed suicide by lying down on train tracks. Police found all evidence in his house: the bunker, her belongings, diaries, and technical devices that prevented escape. Natascha was immediately taken to a secure location. She was malnourished, weighing only about 48 kilograms, and suffered health problems from lack of light and prolonged stress. Psychologically, she was in shock but still managed to provide basic information about the abduction. She reunited with her mother, but after years apart, their relationship was complicated. She did not meet her father right away. Her escape became an international sensation, and the media relentlessly pursued her. In the early years, she tried to live away from the public eye, but the pressure was huge. In 2010, she published the book 3096 Days, in which she described her entire captivity and journey to survival in detail. The book became a bestseller, and in 2013, a film was made based on it. In 2008, she hosted her own talk show, but was disappointed. The media still saw her only as a kidnapping victim. Over the years, she faced criticism and cyberbullying. Some doubted her testimony or accused her of being too soft on her captor. In 2019, she published the book Cyber Jealous about online hate. Today, she lives privately in Austria and dedicates herself to lectures, campaigns against violence and cyberbullying. She has not demolished the house where she was imprisoned. She maintains it to prevent it from becoming a morbid attraction. Natascha herself says the kidnapping marked her forever, but she does not want that to be the only thing people define her by. She sees herself as a woman who survived, not as an eternal victim. Psychological aspects and testimonies of Natascha Kampusch. The long-term isolation and loss of freedom that Natascha experienced had a deep impact on her psyche. After years in the bunker, she developed post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, characterized by recurring memories of the trauma, anxiety, and sleep problems. However, gradually, with the help of psychologists, she managed to process these symptoms. In interviews, she often spoke about the complicated relationship with Wolfgang Priklopil. While she was his victim, she felt a certain need to understand why he behaved the way he did and why he kept her so long. This phenomenon is sometimes described as Stockholm Syndrome, a psychological adaptation to an extreme situation where the victim develops sympathies or dependence on the perpetrator. Natascha rejected this simple explanation, describing it as a complex mix of fear, survival need, and seeking some form of control in a helpless situation. She also described her experience as a struggle between total defiance and the effort to maintain at least remnants of self-respect and dignity. In the bunker, she learned that the key to survival was adaptation, while holding on to hope that she would one day get out. When she began communicating with Wolfgang and spending more time outside the bunker, she relearned to trust the people who rescued her and wanted to support her.